Hey guys, I hope you all are doing great. So welcome to today's video. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the strategy or the way forward with regard to IBS guys. Of late, IBS has become a severe pain point for everyone. Everyone is feeling that IBS is probably a tough nut to crack. But guys, let me tell you, let me be really honest guys. If you have good command over the 5 papers, IBS is going to be a cakewalk. You just need to strategize and prioritize in the right way and you're going to crack IBS. So what are you waiting for guys? Sit back, relax and enjoy as we deep dive and dissect this. Before that, guys, for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm Arvind. I'm a chartered accountant, and by God's grace, I cleared all 3 levels of CA in my very first eligible attempt, and I cleared my CA finals in November 24. I completed my 3 years of articleship and stat audit with PwC, and post qualification, I'm working with HSBC in the financial reporting domain right now. So that's a quick professional gist about me, guys. And on this channel, you can find videos in relation to how audit works practically in the real world, and a lot of CA related guidance videos, guys. So stay tuned, and let's move on to the video, guys. So guys, this video, it's basis my experience in November 24. I know for a fact that November 24 was probably not the toughest IBS paper, but it was a decently tough IBS paper. And I managed to score an exemption in IBS in November 24 without any preparation. I literally mean it, guys. I didn't prepare anything for IBS because I had 4 months of study leave and it was really crunch. So I literally did not prepare anything for IBS, but I still managed to crack it with an exemption. And after that, I also discussed with people who got exemptions in Jan and May 26. Let me tell you, Jan 26 IBS paper was really challenging. It was a very lengthy paper, but there were a couple of people who got exemption in Jan 26. And let me tell you guys, mind you guys, they're not rank holders. But still, they managed to get exemption in Jan 26 in IBS because they prioritized, they acted smartly. And that's what we're going to be doing today, guys. I'm going to explain to you how to prioritize and how to proceed with regard to IBS and turn IBS into your comfort zone rather than your difficult zone, right? So what are you waiting for, guys? Let's move on to the tips. And this PDF, you can find it in the description of the video or in the first pin comment, guys. Or you can even find it in our Telegram group, whose link I've attached in the description, and again in the first pin comment also, guys. So on to the strategy, guys. So first things first, I'm going to be covering an entire strategy here, right from what you should be doing in your study leave right now to what you should be doing 1.5 days before the exam to what you should be exactly doing in the 4 hours of the exam. So this is going to be one of the most comprehensive strategy videos that you're going to be seeing in relation to IBS because I want to cover everything from start to end so that not even a single minute detail is missed out because it's the small things that make up IBS, guys, to be honest, because the small details matter a lot in IBS. If let's say you spend unnecessary time on a particular question, you're left with no time for the easier questions. So prioritizing is very, very important in IBS, and that's what we're going to be discussing today, guys. So first things first, if you're appearing for both groups in November 26, consider yourself lucky. Your burden in IBS is reduced to a very, very great extent. So first things first, as soon as you complete your first revision for all the 5 subjects, solve a previous year ICA question paper for IBS. You can probably start off with the Jan 26 IBS question paper or your November 24 IBS question paper. And because these were relatively tougher, and in case you have sufficient time, do solve the other exam papers also. Okay, so that is with regard to practice, case. And with regard to SCPM and law, as you're aware, ICA is of late increasing the weightage of SCPM and law, especially SCPM. The weightage is increasing drastically with every passing attempt. So I would suggest you to prepare SCPM and law at least to an extent where you know that this concept is from so and so chapter and it is in so and so page in my book. At least have that level of grip, guys. I'm not telling you to by heart word by word or sentence by sentence. Just gain an understanding of what is there in the syllabus and gain an understanding of what is where and where is it actually ingrained in your textbook. This will help you to trace easily in your exam, and this will also help you save a lot of time in those 4 hours in the real exam, right? That is something important. And let's say in case you're only giving group 2 in November 26, spend sufficient time in revising FR and AFM, guys. Audit, I wouldn't recommend you to spend a lot of time in revising because audit, what happens is you can manage with your conceptual knowledge itself. But FR and AFM, what happens is sums get asked in the IBS paper. So you should probably end up solving some sums, at least from the critical chapters. I wouldn't recommend you to solve all the chapters, but if you want to brush up your concepts quickly, I think Bhavik Chokshi sir, he has a lot of revision videos on his channel in English. And those revision videos are a good starter for you to revise the concepts. And even Akash Kandoi sir, he also has a lot of revision videos on his channel. And the best part is in Akash Kandoi sir's videos, he also explains how the sum is solved and how he had approached the sum in class. So in case you're not really able to recollect FR, you can probably go to his channel and probably check out the videos. Like for example, if I have to give you a perspective, he's covered a standard like Ind AS 102 in just 50 minutes. Imagine that, guys. If let's say you take the book right now after a long break after appearing for group 1 and you try to cover Ind AS 102, you will definitely not be able to cover it in such a short span of time. So it will be a good starter to go ahead with, and then you can probably identify your weak points and work on the critical chapters in relation to FR and AFM and ensure that you solve it properly. And another important thing, guys, with regard to AFM, I say is actually testing the theory from the practical chapters also. So just go through the theory portion also once. You don't need to again memorize everything. Just go through it quickly, know where it is being asked from, so that you're able to trace it in the exam. But my first preference would be that you don't even open the book to write the answers, because when you're opening the book and searching, you're probably going to end up spending some time, which you can probably spend somewhere or invest somewhere in the 4 hours. So that would be my suggestion. and do solve a couple of case studies from the ICA case study digest case and your particular attempts RTP. Like let's say for November 26, if ICA is going to release the RTP, do solve that, do go through that. And during your exam, don't waste time in searching a question from ICA case study digest case. This is a mistake which people are doing during the initial attempts. Now, not many people are doing that, but I just wanted to put out a word for this. Don't open your ICA case study digest during the exam and verify if a question is being repeated. Guys, think practically. It's an open book paper. ICA also knows that people are going to carry their books. ICA wants to trick you in such ways. ICA wants to play mind games with you in such ways because ICA knows for a fact that some people will end up searching from the case study digest and they will end up wasting time in the process. But don't do that mistake, guys. Even if the question, let's say, gets repeated, it's fine. Just write it from your memory because, like, what's going to happen? Max, you're going to get half a mark cut because your answer is not perfectly worded, but it's fine. You can maybe spend that time elsewhere in an even easier question and try to grab the marks. So that's what I'm trying to say, guys. And have a proper index for each book that you're carrying and carry the book from which you're prepared, guys. Let's say you're prepared from your faculty material, carry your faculty's material. I'm not saying don't carry the ICA material, carry your ICA material also along with you. But my first preference to you is, let's say you're not able to recollect something, or let's say you're not able to understand something in the exam. First, open your faculty's material, search there because that is the book you have ultimate comfort or supreme comfort over. And in that way, you will be able to search faster rather than opening an ICA study material, which you've never referred before or which you've seldom opened. It's better to refer from your faculty's material. That's what I would suggest. So that is one thing. And as I said earlier, guys, with regard to the theory portion, for AFM, be prepared on that aspect. And with regard to FR, like you usually don't need to open your study material. Like you can refer your faculty's book, but what happens is sometimes disclosure questions get asked in FR. So what I would suggest you to do during your study leave phase itself is probably quickly skim through the ICA study material, identify the chapters that have a lot of disclosure requirements, mark those pages, like probably paste those sticky notes saying this page number has this chapter's disclosures and stuff, so that you're able to open it easily in the main exam. Like in case you have time to go through them, that's even great because you don't need to spend time in the main exam to probably search for the answer. But in case you're a bit short on time, it's perfectly fine. You mark them out, so you can probably go through them in the exam also quickly because you know which page number it is in and you'll be able to crack it easily, right? That is one thing. So on to the next part of this video, guys. What is the strategy that we should be adopting leading to the exam? So leading up to the exam, guys, like probably 1.5 days before your exam, what I would suggest you to do is pack your suitcases and go through SCPM and law and ensure that you're also aware of the relevant amendments. This is especially for law, guys, because law, it changes from attempt to attempt, right? As you're aware, there are a lot of amendments that are happening. So Harsh Gupta, sir, again, he's a very good faculty. He uploads amendment video with each passing attempt, and make sure to refer that because there are high chances that amendments in law are going to be tested in your paper. So make sure that you go through that right before the exam. And another piece of advice on the exam day would be to reach the exam center by 12:45 itself, guys. You might be thinking, why should I reach so early? Right? The reason is because some exam centers, they also allow your friends or parents to help you in stacking up the books. In that way, what would happen is if you're able to stack up all the books on time, you're in a cool mode, you're in an even calmer mode before you sit for the paper. Or sometimes what might happen is some exam centers might not have lifts, or sometimes they might not allow your parents or friends to accompany you to stack the books. So in that case, if you're able to arrive early and let's say they let you inside, you can do all the hard work and you can probably lift your books up and be on time to the paper so that you don't get tensed or frustrated in the last moment. So this is just to have a sufficient margin of safety before the exam starts, right? That is one thing. And let's say if you have a person sitting near you in your desk in the exam hall, guys, request the examiner if you can shift to a table that's probably vacant in your exam hall. Because if let's say two people are sitting in a particular desk, it becomes very tough to stack up the books for IBS. So let's say that's a table in front of you that is actually vacant. You can probably request the examiner and try moving to that table if they are fine with that, right? And okay, so now we come to the 4 hours. So once the reading time starts at 1:45 p.m., guys, pick any random case study. Preferably, I'll suggest you to pick the first one because, like, if you're going to search all the case studies, then you might be thinking which one to choose and which one not to choose. Don't spend too much time on that. Just pick some random case study which your gut tells you to pick. Pick that up. And for your information, guys, I think most of you would be aware there is no compulsory question in IBS. You just need to attempt the 4 out of the 5 case studies, and it can be any 4. There is no hard and fast rule that the first one is compulsory or something like that. And start framing the answer for the case study which you have selected in the reading time in your mind, guys. And as soon as the writing time starts, target to complete it by 2:40 p.m. Because if you're able to get a good head start, what happens is you have sufficient margin of safety. And let's say you're stuck in a particular case study, the surplus you have here can be used to compensate that shortfall there. That will be really useful for you guys. And read the question in relation to the case study first. Like, don't jump on and read the case study first. Read the question first, because what might happen is sometimes some parts of the case study might be completely unrelated to the questions that are getting asked. So you don't need to spend your time or waste your time in reading those unnecessary parts. So it's better to first read the question or requirement of the case study and then move on and read the case study. That's what I would suggest, guys. Yep. Next is develop the mindset that your paper is only for 3 hours. Many candidates, they make this mistake that, okay, IBS is for 4 hours I can easily manage those 4 hours. It's not an issue. But guys, I'll be very honest with you. Once you sit in the exam hall, those 4 hours are going to go just like this. They're going to vanish like anything. IBS paper is going to be really, really lengthy. Be prepared for that. Have the mindset that your IBS paper is only for 3 hours, guys. So if your IBS paper is only for 3 hours, imagine how fast you would accelerate. Imagine how you would go from the word go. So just start accelerating from the word go. That is really important so that you have sufficient time in the end to recoup something that you probably missed. And for the remaining case studies, like probably since you have to attempt 4 case studies, let's say you end up completing 1 case study by 240. For the remaining case studies, 3 case studies, allocate 50 minutes for each case study so that you have sufficient time left. Like let's say you're not able to recollect a particular question, or let's say you're not able to find a particular answer, then you can probably just come back in the end and revisit that. Have a hard stop, guys. I know it is very easy for your ego to dominate or override in the situation, and your mind might play tricks like, okay, who the hell are they? This is an open book exam. I know all the answers. I'm going to search. Don't do that. In the heat of the moment, you will be tempted to search for every single thing, but it is fine. Don't do that. They will try to play with your ego, but be humble. It's fine. Just write to the extent you know. And if you feel that something is taking a lot of time, revisit that later on. Don't go too much into it. Don't obsess over a particular subdivision. It's fine. Like you can probably score easier marks somewhere else. Like probably there's an even easier subdivision there waiting for you where you can probably grab those marks. So don't worry or don't over obsess over a particular subdivision, right? That is one more thing. And avoid opening your book as much as you can, guys. I think this is something which I already emphasized. Like and don't open your book even if it's for audit or law. Like just for the sake of technical knowledge, don't open your book. Like let's say you're not able to completely recollect it, then open your book. That's fine. But just because you want to master technical knowledge with the book, don't open your book, guys, because you're going to see your book and write max to max. What do you gain? What are you going to gain? 0.5 marks. Maybe you can spend the time you invested here somewhere else and gain some easy marks. So it is fine, guys. Don't aim for perfection. Like I know it's an open book exam and you would be tempted to open your book to exactly word the answers that way, but don't do that unless you have a lot of time on hand. You can do it. Like probably leave some space here and that, and probably in the end when you have some surplus time, then probably open the book and start writing that. That's what I would suggest. Next, when you feel that a question is worth more than the weightage it is assigned, guys. For example, I'll give you a real example that happened to us. In November 24, we were asked a total income question for 4 marks. Imagine a total income question being asked for 4 marks. It is definitely not worth that weightage, right? It probably demands even more weightage, right? That's the whole point. So you can probably skip that for now. You can spend that time elsewhere and look to gain 4 easier marks somewhere else. So in the end, you can just probably come and just start off the question. Maybe who knows? Even if you just start off the question, you might get maybe a half mark or a 1 mark or a 1.5 marks. Who knows? Like because step marking is there in the exams, so you can end up taking a chance at skipping those questions that you feel would demand a lot more time than they actually deserve. So that is one thing. And when your MCQs have multiple options, guys, this is an issue which many candidates faced in Jan 26. So like especially in SCPM, this issue was there, which is why I'm telling you guys to get an understanding of SCPM and in which chapter the concept is being tested from and where is it probably being asked from. In that way, what would happen is like you will have a good understanding of where it is probably being tested from, and you'll open your book instantaneously. You won't spend time searching for the chapter from which it is asked. In that way, what would happen is you would save a lot of time and you would be able to write the answers. But despite this, guys, let's say you are spending 2 minutes and you're not able to probably crack the answer for that MCQ. It's fine. Make peace with the fact that you're not able to find it. Leave it for now. Revisit it in the end. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to complete one case study and then only move to the other. It is perfectly fine, guys. Sometimes you have to stop your mind from playing such tricks with you, and you will be good to go, guys. And the final bottom line or the final message that I want to be telling you guys is that IBS will be a cakewalk if you have good grip over the other 5 subjects and decent grip over SCPM and law, guys. And the most important part about IBS is that it requires you to strategize and prioritize, period. That's it. So all the very best, guys. And in case you require any support or any doubts, do feel free to hit me up on Telegram. I've pinned my Telegram ID in the first comment, and I've also pinned my LinkedIn link in the first comment. So you can feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or Telegram in case you have any doubts, or in case you want any other video which you would love to see. Do comment that down below, and I'm more than happy to shoot a video on that, right? So yes, guys, thank you so much. Keep learning, keep growing. Wishing you the best. And I'm sure you guys are going to make it in November 26, right? Cheers. Thank you. Goodbye.